This is the Bears Barroom Radio Network. The following program is recorded live and intended for all audiences.
Radio is scripted now. We just come up with it. We don't use computers. We don't rehearse. We're going to talk about this next. We're going to talk about them. We're going to talk about the Bulls. And then we're going to have Brad Big Son. And then we're going to have all this. No. If you don't know what you're going to talk about in the top of your head before a show, you shouldn't be in the business. I don't know what you got. I feel like Vince Vaughn in a couple's retreat. The Sharks are circling. Old school, baby.
You're listening to the Mike North Advantage, and it begins right now.
That's right. The Mike North Advantage starts right now. I am Aldo Gandia, Mike's wingman. We got a lot to cover today. I mean, a lot. It's Michael Jordan's birthday. We're going to talk about LeBron James, the king of flops. We're going to talk about rumors now with Dak Prescott maybe coming to the Bears. What about J.J. Watt? What about that happy Gilmore Adam Sandler video? I want to show that to Mike and get his reaction. We've got his picks, and we've got so much more to talk about. Let's welcome Mike in now. Mike North, how are you, my friend?
Oh, it's always good to see my guy, Eldo Gandia. Make sure you follow him, folks, at Eldo Gandia, and also North to North. And make sure you check out our brand new sponsor, Win Daily. Win Daily Sports, at Win Daily Sports. You follow them, Jason and Michael and all those great guys over there, and check out windailysports.com for other handicappers, information, anything that you need. It's right there for you. I was sitting pretty. I'm going every 30 games, and then I'm going to keep a running total. But, we said every 30 games, I was 15-11, and now I've lost 4 in a row. I was yes. Oh, tragic. 15-15 for any mortal man. That would be considered a win, but not for me. And you know what? The college game sometimes befuddles me, not as much as the NBA game. That's where I lost it the other night with Dallas. I had them to win. They didn't win. We'll talk maybe about Donich and that situation over there. It looks like Dirk Nowitzki all over again. Hi, I'm Dirk Nowitzki, and I don't know who the other 4 guys are. Basically, that's what Dallas is putting together again. But other than that, 15-15. So I'll be on Win Daily Sports later on today on the website and with Twitter. Make sure you check that out, folks. 1-1 last week with Bears Barroom, so we're doing okay there as we're doing now our post-Super Bowl wins and losses, if you will. So, Aldo, it's great. It's great to see you. A lot of stuff going on, a lot of rumors, a lot of innuendos. But forget about our private lives. Let's talk about what's going on. Let's talk about what's going on with anything you want to talk about, because it seems like it's more gossip now than anything else.
Oh, my goodness. It's unbelievable the amount of gossip that's going on regarding the quarterback situation in the NFL. I was watching ESPN this morning, and somebody said that there could be as many as 16 quarterbacks who played in the NFL last year playing on different teams.
Yeah.
Into 2021 season. This is unbelievable. And one name that is now coming up a lot is Dak Prescott, because Dak Prescott, this whole contract thing is like getting out of control. The Cowboys apparently have mishandled it. He may be asking like for $40 million a season. And somebody over at ESPN said, well, why shouldn't the Chicago Bears package 3 first-round draft picks and a player or 2 and pick up Dak Prescott? And I can see by your reaction, you're not a fan of that.
I mean, Colin Cowherd the other day saying that they could use Wentz, the Bears. I mean, Trubisky, you don't hear a sound. He just minded his own business. He's going to go somewhere else, make the playoffs next year, while we are going to be average 6-10, you name it, 7-9, if this nonsense keeps up. They still have time to try to patch this whole thing up with Trubisky. I don't understand where we are going with this, because first of all, this off season, just between Bear podcasts, the mainstream swamp Bear media, and fans, is an all-time low as far as Bear fans and what they know about the game. It's an all-time low. We've heard Watson. We've heard Watts. That's not going to happen. Neither one of those is going to happen. We're hearing Wentz, who can't play dead. I was on with Carmen DeFalco last Friday night. We both agreed because we actually watched the games. Like I watched Foles the year before. That last year, we bet a couple games on the odds couple. He was horrendous. Worse than Foles the year before. And then we're hearing other names. And it's getting to the point now, every day it's turned into the National Enquirer. That's what sports radio in Chicago's turned into.
That's
the
true.
National Enquirer. They should just post pictures of who they're going to rumor again, who they're going to gossip about tomorrow. I mean, it's ridiculous. Colin Cowherd going, if the Bears could make the Super Bowl with Carson Wentz. Did he even watch the games last year? Did he watch Carson Wentz once? You think Philadelphia wants to get rid of a $32 million quarterback that they invested their whole future in unless he's damaged goods? Think about this, folks.
Yeah.
Houston wants to keep Watson, but it's because of other things, whether it's political stuff inside the locker room or as far as, fighting with the GM or what have you, or McNair. But they're not saying they want to get rid of him. They want to try to salvage it. But I'm not hearing anybody going, wait a minute, don't get rid of Wentz. No, I have a buddy in Philadelphia named Artie Clear. He said he's done. He's been abused.
Yeah.
He was hard to coach last year because he lost his gig.
Yeah, that's right.
And he wasn't willing to take responsibility at times. I mean, come on. And then I can't see him hit a 10-yard swing pass. I needed a play last year. He has 2 downs. Misses both passes. Wide open. He missed them. His feet start moving. I'm serious, folks. We're going to mortgage our future. And Dak Prescott, he's had better teams than the Bears, and he can't get them to the playoffs. And now he's hurt.
Yeah. He's coming off that major injury. He had a compound fracture and a dislocation of his right ankle. He suffered that in October. So he is damaged goods, but there is all this speculation now.
Everybody's leaking this, Galdo. Who's coming up? Who's starting the speculation? They are. The Eagles, are you telling me they're not leaking out the Wentz stuff?
Tons of stuff they're leaking out.
Yeah, Jimmy, listen, leak out that the Bears are really interested.
That's right.
Tommy, yeah, leak out that Dak Prescott may be going to Chicago. Joey, yeah, Tommy, do me a favor. Yeah, Danny Jones is available. I don't know. I just thought I'd come up with something myself. I mean, come on. I mean, it's become pathetic. I like the new headphones. I don't know if I feel like I want to shoot down a MiG or something. You know what I mean?
You look like the 1950s airline. Roger.
Oh, I love Midway. Those guys had guts.
I'll tell you what.
NBA players don't want to play, like Kyrie Irving, don't want to play 3 games in 4 days. But here's a guy dive bombing into an aircraft carrier with howitzers coming at him.
Yeah, exactly.
Load management.
Alvarez is in the chat and he's asking us, when can teams start tagging players? That happens in the first week of March when the new contract year in the NFL happens. That's when teams can tag people. So the Dallas Cowboys will likely tag Dak Prescott again unless they get some tremendous offer.
Who's going to give $40 million? The Bears ain't giving him $40 million.
No
He
way.
wants too much money. $35 million. No, here's $25 million. Let's see if you can make the season. I mean, enough.
Yeah.
Everybody's lost their minds. I like the guy, but come on.
I know.
He's 8-8.
Here's
He's like I was ordinary. You think I like being 15-15 with our new sponsor? I wanted to be like 5 over. But BB says to me, you know what? It's the NBA and NCAA and hockey. It's not the NFL where you were over 60%.
Right.
You had that down. This is different. It's hard to finish 500. I'm not satisfied. But that's all Dak Prescott brought to the table is 500.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't get it. Roger Staubach, he is not.
No, he's not. That is for sure. I think he's a.
And I'm not down on the guy, but I just don't want him for the Bears. We got a good quarterback, 29-21. We keep moving forward. This is your last year, Nagy. If you switch quarterbacks, you're finished. You heard it here first. He's done.
And I'll tell you what, Mike, does it concern you if these rumors are true that he's asking for $40 million? Does it concern you that a quarterback would ask for that after we see what Tom Brady has done over the course of his career?
Of course.
Sacrificed millions to win Super Bowls. And if that's true, then Dak is really looking out more for himself than he is the team, right?
Well, you know what? There's this old saying, you got to look out for yourself unless you play football. Then you better look out for other people. Because if you don't look out for the other people, you ain't going to have a lot of good people. Ask Matthew Stafford at Detroit. After Calvin Johnson left, I mean, I'm not just blaming him, but when he first started signing big, he was one of the first big deal makers.
Yeah.
He ate up a lot of cash.
Yep.
And their team just got worse and worse. He did the best he could. You know, I don't happen to think he's all that. I mean, I love him as far as he could throw the ball and everything else, but I never really... I mean, how many times did he bring Detroit back from the depths? And I know he didn't have the best players, but Mitch Trubisky's 29-21 with teams that don't have the greatest of stars. They have good players. Right. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with Allen Robinson. The more I watch this whole thing, and I wonder what they're thinking. I wonder what he's thinking. I wonder what Montgomery's thinking. I wonder what Mitch is thinking. Nobody can find Mitch. And he's the guy that has disciplined himself like Bartman did. But I don't see a whole lot of people going to try to find him. I mean, I could make a call, but I won't. I won't. It's not my job, man, because I'd love to get him, but I don't think he'd come on. I don't think he'd come on a podcast.
You never know. I mean, sometimes these guys
I might have to go out there. I might have to walk out, find out where he lives.
What do you think about what Harp 4803 is saying?
My guy?
Yeah, your guy. He's saying that Carson Wentz's agent, actually I heard this too, has told the Bears don't trade for him. He doesn't.
Good. We don't want him. We don't want his sorry ass. Tell his agent Mike North said we don't want him. He's sorry. You're overpricing yourself out of the market. And all these people that are going to town for you are all ex-GMs. I say that ex-GMs.
Chris Watt says, keep Mitch Trubisky, strengthen
the line,
and get another deep threat.
That's it.
And he also compliments the show.
Well, thank you. Well, we try to tell the truth here, which it's hard. It's really hard to find. I mean, my God, I keep hearing, you know what's really something? When I hear a rundown of quarterbacks available, there'll be 10, 12 guys, and they don't name Mitch. Yeah. It's like the Bears are, it's like these people don't know that Mitch Trubisky's got decent stats. And they've believed everything that the mainstream press, and I blame the Bear press for this nonsense. Because he's got good numbers. Are they ever going to win with them? I don't know. Are they going to win in Tennessee with Tannehill? I doubt it. But you got to have a guy to get you to the playoffs before you can do anything else.
Yeah.
There's only a couple guys. There's not going to be another Tom Brady. And you know this nonsense that there's 16 quarterbacks left. There were 18. Now there's been 2 changes of address, maybe 3 coming up. Who knows? That's 15. That's 15. I don't think that's going to be that high. I think everything will settle down.
Yeah. Well, here's another rumor that's just started.
I love rumors.
That's right. We love rumors.
And we live off rumors. That's what we do.
What about Alex Smith, named the 2020 Comeback Player of the Year? He's got a relationship with Matt Nagy. A lot of people are saying maybe you should take a look at Alex Smith. You know, he'll probably could be traded for a 5th round draft.
Damaged goods. One hit, he's done.
Big time.
One hit, he's done. I love the guy, and I love his story. But one hit, he's done.
Yeah.
And he wasn't he was day to day last year. I mean, who's coming up with all this nonsense?
I know, but people who have to sell newspapers, I guess.
This has been the best thing that's ever happened to me. I'm always right because these people just come up with nonsense. And this guy's coming, that guy's. We have a bus full of guys coming. We got like $10 in our bank account. Come on, JJ Watt's coming. I mean, we got Akeem Hicks. You know, I mean, JJ Watt and Akeem. See, the Bear fans like to spend. They criticize the Bears for spending money on defense, and they go, J.J. Watt, we need J.J. Watt. Quit spending money on defense. Start getting us some big-time offensive guys.
Retro TV and Movie says, why would Mitch want to come back to Chicago? And that's a great question.
Well, that's probably what I have sort of like heard or alluded to.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard like other people say, like David Kaplan said, that it's a mutual parting. But yeah, they kicked Mitch in the nuts after the Atlanta game, and he's been pissed ever since.
Yeah, he has.
So maybe they both needed a fresh start, Nagy and him.
Mm-hmm.
But we know who looks the fool here and who screwed up. And it's not Trubisky because he got us in the playoffs. And I don't care what kind of playoff format they had.
Mm-hmm.
It's better than not getting in.
Yeah.
I mean, he gets criticized after he gets benched and he comes back and leads us to the playoffs because there's a certain amount of Bear fans that have it in their head we're never going to win with them. Well, who are we going to win with? At least we have a chance with them. You bring Wentz in here, I'm telling everybody out there now, we got a better shot at the playoffs with Trubisky than Wentz. And if anybody wants to challenge me on it, you didn't watch football last year. You were out of the country. I'm serious.
Or out of your mind.
Yeah. Well, he was good in 2017, then he got hurt, just like Foles. Just like Foles. Don't give me that. See, I've been right about this all along. So if you want to argue with me, bring it on. But you're going to have trouble here.
Yep.
Because I've been calling this all along, and Eldo knows it.
Yep.
You know, I mean, it's no different than my baseball colleague is over there. The White Sox are looking for a catcher.
Yep.
Who predicted that? Then they finally get one. LaCroix.
That's right.
I hope he does good, but I mean, we knew this could have been avoided. So that's all I'm saying, because we had a guy. Sometimes these front offices overthink when they already got something. They want the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You're going from Wentz to Trubisky, at best, a lateral move, but an insult to Mitch. Mitch was better by loads last year than Wentz.
Yeah. Black Rain says, how about drafting a guy like Kyle Trask in the second or third round and try to develop him? Well, you know, that's an option, but I know
we got to win now. We got to get in the playoffs and then hope everything works out now.
Yeah.
Are we going to get in the playoffs if we change quarterbacks? Are we going to get in the playoffs if we have our third quarterback in 3 years? I mean, seriously, there's not another Tom Brady walking in, folks.
John Hagan, I think, has it right. Just in, Carson Wentz and Deshaun Watson will remain with their teams in 2021. Nobody wants the two-step cancers.
Yeah.
Watson.
No, things go bad. They signed for all this big money. And the first thing is they want to bail out. They both make over $30 million. And then J.J. Watt.
I wouldn't call them cancers, though.
Well, wait a minute. In the Eagle locker room, the understanding has been, and it hasn't been refuted. Now, I'm not saying nothing about Watson. I'm not. I love Watson. I wanted him. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, the nonsense is for what they want. No, you're not mortgaging the future. Now, J.J. Watt. Never mind. He put out video.
I'm trying to keep it together, Mike. Please.
You know what? He loves Houston. He loves Houston. I'm having trouble getting it out. He loves Houston, right? You said that.
Yes.
And then he said he works hard, and he tries to win. You're making $30 million. Okay. All right. I understand. You're great. I love him. But come on. He's the guy. He's another one. He's the guy with the babushka, the owner of the Titanic.
Yes.
In the lifeboat going, I work hard. I work hard. And there you go. There you go. He's the guy with the babushka, you know? Mitch is one of the fiddle players that wants to keep playing as the Titanic is gathering water, and all we want to do is throw him overboard and be Leo. He's trying to get on the door. He's trying to get on the door that Kate Winslet is on. The Bears are Kate Winslet. Blow a whistle for me. Oh, gee, Mitch, they're not coming. I don't see anybody, Mitch. I'm blowing as loud as I can, Mitch. Nagy was Kate Winslet, and Mitch was trying to get on the door.
Holy cow!
It always bothered me.
So, what do you think about these every speculation?
Kyle Trask, I like Kyle Trask. By the way,
about J.J. Watt potentially.
Here we go. Oh, I love this man, but not. I mean, I don't know if he wants to come. You're fine. I'd love him, but man, here we go again. You know. We're spending all our money on defense. We need playmakers and stuff.
Oh, that's a great point.
Darnell Mooney and Miller at wide receiver. And we don't know what's going to happen to A-Rod.
Right.
But I think, sign him now. $150 million.
Yeah, look at that interception.
Look at that play. I'm in love. I'm in love. I love Portillo's too. Guys are all divas now. I work hard. You're the best in the world because you work hard. You're making that bank because you work hard. They paid you. It's not like they didn't pay these two guys.
Yeah.
They're abused. I mean, I'm watching those infomercials in the morning. There's kids eating rocks in some of these poor countries, and then I got to see a tearful video.
Jimmy Christ, can we franchise Mitch Trubisky?
I'd love that.
Yes, we can.
I would I'd walk to Lake Forest for them to do the right thing for once in their lives instead of going after somebody else's garbage. And you know what I'm afraid of? Foles is going to come back next year and be our quarterback. That's what I'm afraid of because he's the guy that was supposed to be the guy.
Yes.
Everybody forgets that. We had this. We've been down this road. Hi, I'm Mike. I told the story. I'm a 10-year-old kid. There's a kid that lives down the alley from me. He's like 11. Me and him getting a beef. Our friends, back in the day, beats the crap out of me, basically, tougher, a little bit older. Okay. I waited 3 more years. Okay. And then I went after him again. I still got my ass kicked again. Okay. It doesn't matter. We can't go down this road. We're going to make the same mistake like I did. Go back for that guy and then get your ass kicked again for no reason. So I was 14. So now, that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do with this Foles situation. We're going to go back to the scene of the crime. I'm fearing this. I hear a lot of names being leaked out, but there's one guy that's still around. It's Big Nick. Big Nick Foles.
Well, I would not at all be surprised if Nick Foles is starting game 1 for the Chicago.
Me neither, baby. And this will be the best. He'll be trying. He won't be able to get away from a rush. The running game will get worse. The line will look worse. The defense will be on the field a ton. And Mitch will be playing for the Redskins, and they'll be like 5-2. I'm serious. I know what's going to happen here.
We've got a lot of non-Trubisky people in the chat room.
But what he's saying, what's his name? King Pookie Nation Alvarez. I love you, my friend. How has he done? Explain to me how he's done, because I think he's going to sign a nice deal. I just want to know how he's done, because why? You heard it on somebody's radio show? Foles is done. And you know what? I guarantee you, he won't say this. King Pookie Nation will not say. Well, I'll say this plain and simple for you. Stop talking. It's done, plain and simple. Get a new name, King Pookie Nation Alvarez. It's a little long for a man of your limited access to what actually goes on in the game of the National Football League. Pookie Nation.
So Mike is not.
I love you, brother.
Mike is not going to get off the Mitch Trubisky train.
No way. Why should I? I'm winning. Woo! Wait, should we get off the plane? We're in charge. I'm the engineer. Aldo, who do you want to see quarterback the Bears? Pick anybody. We'll get them. I'm sure Phillip Rivers will come out every time. Andrew Luck was seen. I just heard Andrew Luck was just seen at the old Riverview site on Western and Belmont, looking for another clown show to be a part of. Jesus Christ.
That is hilarious.
I just don't get it.
Jimmy Christ says, let's franchise Matt Nagy. He's asking that question. I don't think.
Who did I hear today? There's a guy on Visson. And he was sitting in for those guys. I think it's Matt Yeomans is his name. He said, if anybody goes to the Bears, they're not going to be coached well. Nagy's not a good offensive coach. That's what he said. Now, he's a guy that lives in Vegas as a gambler.
Right.
But he's sort of right.
Yeah.
I mean, so he's done a good job trying to deflect, but people around the nation, handicappers and certain people in town have known his game. What he did to Mitch, I still don't forgive him for. You need a guy to have your back, and he didn't. And I think that what he did was treasonous. I swear to God, for what he did to that kid. And he stopped us from getting 9 or 10 wins and maybe having some momentum.
Yeah, I'm with you. Retro TV and movies, if Bears draft a quarterback, what is your faith in Nagy that he can develop a quarterback? Mike was just saying that. Who has he developed in his time in Chicago?
He don't develop anybody. I think
a sense of ego is what he's done.
Well, and there's no doubt. I mean, here's what I think is going to happen. And nobody really is talking about this. And by the way, I know everybody's coming up with the thing now. This was mentioned on this show a few weeks ago. I told Aldo people would start running with it, the Brady Jordan thing. Mm-hmm. We brought it up like 3 weeks ago, and all of a sudden everybody's got articles on it the next week. I mean, come on. Mm-hmm. All right, we know you listen. We appreciate it. Okay. Anyway, and I pointed it out to Aldo when I said it. I go, don't worry, don't be and then show and behold, hey, is Jordan better than Brady? I'm going. I go, B, they did it again. She goes, it's flattering. Don't worry about it. You know, B is. It's nice. I go, no, it's not if they don't give you a little, what is that? Not retribution. Sometimes attribution. That's it.
Exactly.
Attribution. But no, I just think that this whole thing's been nonsense. I wish we were going in. I think the players are disturbed by this. I don't think what happened after last year has sunk in. And I predicted Trubisky will lose the locker room.
Yeah.
If he leaves, if they get rid of him, and bring somebody else in and go off, they'll lose the locker room. They love Mitch. They worked out with him during the offseason. And if they see him go to a pretty decent team, whether it's Denver, Washington, New England, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for those players, especially if they get off to a bad start. And their defense is a year older.
Yeah. Getting much older.
Oh my God. They were getting older as we were watching.
That's right. And by the fourth quarter, they were like 60 years old.
By the fourth quarter, they were like grandmama. My God.
Mule Skinner says Trubisky was a winner with a crappy offensive line. Who could do better a job with those two imps at tackle?
He's 29 and 21 with the team that Watson had this year, that Watson wants to get away from, and Wentz.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I mean, seriously, the thing is comical to me how this whole thing's been steered, and they continue to steer because you don't hear Trubisky wants out. You don't hear that from everybody. They're both, it's mutual. Trubisky wants out. That means because he won't forget what they did, and I don't think people that talk, his advisors, I know what I would have said. Get out after what this guy did. Get out.
Harp says, unfortunately, the 2021 season will be a lot for the Bears, and Hallis Hall will have to readdress the front office once again.
Smart man. Harp's smart. It's gonna be a nightmare. And all the people, then you'll hear all the people going, why did the Bears get rid of Trubisky? The same people that wanted Foles and then that wanted Trubisky out. What do you mean? Why'd they do this? I'm telling you, I would like to see a proposition bet in Vegas for the Bears not making the playoffs and Trubisky making the playoffs on another team. Mm-hmm. And then I want to see some of these people that trash him put their money down and say it's not going to happen, because I think it is. It's setting up that way, man. I've been through Cutler, Moses Marino, Jonathan Quinn, Billy Wade, Rudy Bukic, Cordell Stewart. Goodness. I mean, come on, Cade McNown. I mean, Henry Burris.
Who is
Bobby Douglas, Bobby Avellini.
Who is the best?
George Blanda, Johnny Lujak.
Who is the
Rex Grossman.
Who is the
I got him off the top of my head.
Mike, who is the worst quarterback in Chicago Bears?
Rex Grossman.
Rex Grossman was the best.
Got to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
I heard a guy today go, you got to have a quality quarterback to go to the Super Bowl. I'm going, Rex. I'm waving my hand. Rex Grossman, Super Bowl. Rex Grossman. He could make a lot of money. Rex was 5 foot nothing, 100 and nothing, like they say in Rudy. God bless him. He got us there. That's all that mattered. We didn't care who the quarterback was. We go, he's not throwing bombs. He's not doing. We're in the Super Bowl now. We almost beat Peyton Manning. We needed a break here, a break there, and Rex was part of the problem. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
And Lovie Smith can't be a head coach in this league. He got to the Super Bowl for Rex Grossman. Seriously, cut it out. And I don't care. Avellini. You know how bad it is? I got a story about Avellini.
Oh, you got a story about Bobby Avellini? Good old.
Well, I used to do. I won an Emmy on Fox, and then I was making money, and they said he's too good. Get rid of him. And I did these Northside pieces, and Avellini. What would happen is I'd be playing the guitar down in the L, or I'm going to get them converted someday. They're on the tape they're still on tape.
Sure.
But Bobby Avellini, I met him at the rest. I pull up, and there's Bobby Avellini pumping gas at a gas station on Clark Street by Grace back in the day. Mm-hmm. And it would be, how are the Bears doing, everything else like that. And what makes this, Bob's a good guy, but Bobby liked to get a little drinky like some of us, but also I'll never forget, I played touch football in in a bar league for mothers at Lakeshore Park. And I was a defensive back wide receiver. Okay. Bob Aveline, he played for one of the other bars. I intercepted him. And then later I told him about it. And he goes, that was you? I go, yeah. But he was a regular guy playing now on and up. But he played for the Bears, but he played in the bar league at Lakeshore Park, and I intercepted Bobby Avellini.
That's hilarious.
I do this with my friends. I'm going, what are you doing? I'm looking up the interceptions that Bobby Avellini threw. Who got him? I don't see my name here yet. It's a national football. Yeah, okay, sorry.
That is great.
It was a privilege.
That is great.
But Bobby Avellini played with some crap teams too. He just didn't have the foot speed. Look, Bobby Douglas was the first of his kind, but they didn't have anything around him either. Come on. Come on. They were horrible.
Yeah. It is unbelievable that this franchise,
Rudy Bukic.
Man, exactly. It's been so long since we've had a franchise quarterback and so few. I mean, and
give me Jim McMahon every year. I don't care about the stats.
Right. And there are some people who will even argue against Jim McMahon. You know that.
If we had Jim McMahon, we'd make the playoffs every year with the team we got.
A healthy McMahon, right?
A healthy McMahon.
Yep.
At his current age, baby. Come on.
Yeah. Hart remembers Bobby Douglas trying out for the White Sox. He had a hell of an arm. Actually, an incredible athlete.
He rushed for 900 yards.
That's right.
He pitched for the Iowa Oaks, the White Sox affiliate.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's right. That's right.
I don't even know if Harp was born then, for God's sake. That's so long ago.
Harp is a young man.
Yeah. Looks
all right.
like a kid.
Turn our attention now to Michael Jordan's birthday.
How old is he?
58 years old.
Unbelievable.
A young man, right? And you've had a lot of encounters with MJ, talking to him professionally, but also
hung out with him
away from microphones. Tell us some stories about the
wonderful guy. He is, really, when it comes right down to it. What he did for, we talk about the Bears and what they did for the score, 92. We forget what he did for the score. And I remember being on, and when they'd lose a game, 1 out of every 10 games, the lines would be lit. People would panic. What's wrong with the Bulls? Because they lost 1 game out of like 12. He was just magnetic. Did remotes from his restaurant. I went to his camp for 35 and older guys. It was the first time they did it. We won the championship with Coach K. It was coaches from Nike, Coach K, Hubie Brown, Mike Fratello, Dean Banos, who else? Just a bunch of different coaches. John Thompson, George Raveling, Bob Huggins, where we became really close, Bob and I. Really good guy. And we won the league. I came in second in the 3-point shootout and came in second in free throws. I hit 14 out of 15 free throws, and I hit like 12 out of 15 threes.
Wow.
Yeah. But I lost. Another guy knocked me out. I mean, I'm going, just I could play in the NBA today. Nobody guards anybody anymore. I watched last night. I mean, my God, there's no space. I mean, there's plenty of space to shoot.
Right.
I think they tell each other, let's score our asses off tonight, guys. Let's have some fun. Let's not play hard. I honestly believe that. I watched Harden last night, and they do this with the defense, and he's bombing.
Exactly.
It's unbelievable.
It really
the NBA has really been hurt. Here's another thing that's hurting the NBA right now, and we'll get back to Jordan. You can't bet these games sometimes because, like, right before the game the other night, Eric Gordon decides to sit out. And last night, Kyrie Irving, if you put it down to bet early, he sits out. Now you're scared to death. Now they ended up covering without him.
Right.
But Jordan never did that stuff. He played every night. I took my mother-in-law to see him. I remember I gambled with him one night at Bally's. He was putting like 3,000 down a hand. I was putting 300. I was sitting next to him. And he's pounding his fist what he thought was a bad call for me. It was a good call. I'm not setting you up. Why are you in it? I'm not setting you up. I'm trying to win as bad as you're trying. Poor loser. Poor loser. Pounds is a poor loser. He hates to lose.
Yeah.
And then we won the league. with Coach K. That was great. Then me and Jiggs interviewed him in Sarasota. That was bizarre. We're in the lunchroom at Sarasota when the Sox were in Sarasota with the spring training. And Jiggets are sitting there waiting. We have our microphone set. We're in the lunchroom. And here he comes in a White Sox uniform. And I never seen nothing so bizarre in my life. Here's a 6'6" guy, thin as a rail. I didn't think it was going to work out. It worked out not, but it got a lot of publicity. But he said me and him got a little contentious there. Why are you always challenging me? I mean, he's got a competitive bone in his body. And he just, and now he's donating money to clinics, medical clinics. He's donated up to $10 million.
Great to see.
Yeah. Donate the 100 you owe me. How about that? Donate that. All right? Nobody, you don't want me talking, do you? What happened to you can happen to anybody. We played 1-on-1. I lost to him 11-9 in a game up to 11. Threes counted for 2. This is in Vegas. Big showroom. He played with 1-on-1 with all the campers. All he could take was threes. I could take whatever I wanted.
Right.
Lost to him 11-9. I knew the threes were weak for him.
Right.
And by the time he'd shoot it, I'd be underneath sometimes. So he missed some. 11-9, I'd lose to him. But this is the best. I go, you want to have a free throw contest? Okay. He goes, sure. I go, how much? He goes, let's go 100. Right? 5 out of 5 I hit. He misses the last one.
Oh!
Okay. That's like challenging Babe Ruth to a home run hitting contest and winning. Okay. He still owes me the C-note. But then he did something what I think was charitable. I had a blue Jordan North Carolina jersey. I go, Mike, can you sign this for me? Sure. And I got a picture I could post with me and Mike and stuff. The camp was great. Awesome. Cost $15,000 to go for 3 days. He got it for me for a birthday present. Can you believe that?
Nice. Look at that.
Yeah.
I think he paid you the C-note then.
My God. The guy wouldn't even give me a break. I mean, everybody had to pay. Damon Williams was there. You got to know him.
Yeah, cool.
And Jordan goes, best wishes, Michael Jordan. Right on the North Carolina jersey.
That is awesome.
I said, put to Mike. He goes, no. I go, why? He goes, because if you ever want to sell it, you'll get some pretty decent money for it, Mike. That's what he tells me. I go, okay, so I can't really get on him too much about the 100.
Yeah.
Although I'm never going to sell the jersey. It's hanging in my basement, the blue 23, okay, which I think is more unique than a Bulls jersey.
Absolutely.
The blue 23 that I bought, the authentic one, at his restaurant.
How about
He had him hanging in there. And I said, you know what? Someday I'll get it autographed. And I ended up going to the camp. It was fun. Yeah. Played with a bunch of guys, good guys. We won the league. Coach K. It was great. Coach K's in the huddle. I had 2 free throws. He goes, now when Mike makes his free throws, and they go, you are going to make your free throws, aren't you, Mike? I went, yeah. Yes. But it's Coach K.
Of course. Yeah.
And you know what really pisses? I don't know if he ever added our 4-5 win. I think we lost 1 game out of like 8. I keep looking for the 7 wins on his total all-time for coaching record, and I don't see it. I don't understand it, or the championship we won. So we'll see what. But it was a good time. Michael was a good host, and I wish him nothing but the best. And he's the greatest I ever saw outside of Tom Brady.
Oh, my goodness. Look at this. Black Rain just asked, speaking of MJ, is he still the all-time greatest? Because now people are saying Brady is because he has 7, but MJ never lost in the NBA Finals.
I understand that, and that it was a strong consideration. But what MJ would have done, had to do to impress me, was go to the Wizards and win it the first year, like Tom Brady went to Tampa Bay.
Yeah,
you're playing with a whole different system. A coach that you don't even know. Mike, he didn't know. There was no training camp, and he walks right in and goes to his 10th Super Bowl. So to me, a slight edge, and I hate to do it to my guy.
Yeah,
but a slight edge. I got to be fair. that Brady did something that people are considering historic.
Yeah.
And Michael, Bill Russell's got 11 rings. Now, let me just address the nonsense I'm hearing about Bill Russell, okay?
Okay.
Because I heard it about Jabbar, and then one game, Magic in the finals, played and he had 42 points and 15 rebounds at center, okay? Bill Russell was great. I loved the man. I had heard always bad things about him. You know, you're a kid in Chicago, you're 11, 12 years old, you're watching him on TV. This is the miracle of the jobs I've had.
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching him as a 10, 11-year-old against the St. Louis Hawks on the ABC or CBS, whenever it was.
ABC, probably.
ABC, NBA game of the week, which was always Chamberlain against Russell for the most part. But the thing I always noticed, he played with 8 Hall of Famers. I'm sorry. There goes Tommy Heinz and Tommy. Oh, wait, here's Havlicek coming in. Or say Casey Jones or Sam Jones or Don Nelson, great players.
Mm-hmm.
And you just didn't see them. Brady went with a bunch of bust outs, 7 and 9.
Mm.
And Russell won with 11. But I mean, Havlicek won 6, 7, or 8.
Yeah.
Kuzi, he had Kuzi.
Oh,
he had one. He had the first Isaiah Thomas.
That's
Kuzi was a little white guy that was just if you ever go, well, Bob Cousy couldn't make it in today's game. Really? You ever watch Isaiah Thomas play? Watch Bob Cousy. They're about the same size. Watch Isaiah Thomas and Bob Cousy. Thomas couldn't pass like Cousy. Thomas could do other things, though. I love them both. But please don't say Bob Cousy, because they were loaded, the Celtics. They were loaded. And that's why Brady, I think what he did is superior to what Jordan or even Russell did.
Harp says there were only 8 teams in the NBA.
That's right.
When Russell played that.
But that meant there was more talent on those 8 teams.
That is true.
Remember the original 6 in hockey?
Right.
I mean, my God, we knew every line on the 6 teams because they were all superior athletes. Yeah. Now there's 22 guys. They would have been in AAA or AA. They'd be playing with Paul Newman's team, the Chiefs, from Slapshot. I mean, I'm serious, some of these guys.
Yeah.
But they got the whole world involved now. Back then, they just had Canada.
Yeah.
Six teams.
Mm-hmm.
But they got the whole world now.
Yeah.
And these guys can play, man.
Yeah. I do miss those days of, limited teams, because you
best jerseys
for all the teams. Yeah. The best jerseys.
Hockey had the best jerseys. They still do.
Absolutely.
I mean, the Hawks, the Rangers, the original 6, Detroit, Montreal, Detroit, Toronto. Mm-hmm. My God, just beautiful.
Harp's got a question here I'd love for you to answer. Is ask Mike, when did he first meet Coach K? And
I met him. I met him at the camp for the first time officially, but I then met him at other things. But wonderful man. He's got to stop dying to hear, I think. I just me. I mean, maybe I don't dye mine as people can see. Maybe I should, because if I did, I'd look like I was in my 20s. Come on. But anyway, besides that, Coach K's got it like Coach K's hair is as dark as Pacino's was in Dick Tracy. When he remember that guy?
Sure.
What was his name? Bad Boy McClue or something? I forget what his name is.
Look it up.
Look it up. Remember put up a picture of Al Pacino's hair in Dick Tracy? I think Coach K's got to go gray. I think he might have to go gray. I would. It just he does the Reagan. Yeah. Everybody knows Reagan dyed his hair.
Absolutely.
What was his name?
Al Pacino played. Oh, where is he? Come on. I'm on IMDb and I'm not seeing him because it's cast in.
Well, he was in the cast.
Yeah, he was in the cast.
It's usually better to go to Wikipedia for that shit.
Yeah, you're right. IMDb is.
I know, but Capri. His name was Bad Boy or
Big Boy Capri.
I can't believe I remember you. I mean, that's why I sit at home alone. I mean, seriously, folks. His hair, that's Coach K. I mean, seriously.
That is Coach K.
Yep.
Let me pull up a picture of him here.
Right.
Hold on a second, because I'm
the plane, like the mountains coming up, but you try to get the altitude up a little bit over here. Here it goes.
Oh gosh, let me see if I can pull this up real quick here. We go here,
killing us.
We go here, we go share, we share the screen, and it comes up.
Coach K.
There he is, Al Pacino.
There he is. It's Coach K. It's Coach K. I don't want to say anything. He had a little mustache to him. It's what somebody else. I don't mind saying it.
Oh, Lord.
You know who I'm talking about, and I don't want to talk about it, but I'm just saying what I'm not thinking, but I'm going to say. Okay?
Speaking of not going to say.
Yeah, that could be our next show.
Yeah, really. King Pookie Nation Alvarez is really going to get on your nerves. He says that MJ never cheated while Tom Brady never had the grace. Excuse me. Hold on. Where's the other one? Tom Brady cheated with all those titles at New England.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
Yeah, well, let me tell you something. I don't believe it. I thought the Deflategate was the most biggest nonsense I've ever covered in the world of sports. It was embarrassing. It was a 6-month just bore fest that somebody should have controlled and stopped immediately. If I had been running a radio station at that time, we would have dropped it after a week. I don't care what if everybody else would have lived off it. You know, we would have given them safe haven to talk about other things. It just became too much, you know. It really did. So that was just to be the whole deal there. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that Coach K, if he just lets it go gray, he'll look like Gary Williams, who used to coach the University of Maryland, if he goes gray. Remember? Yeah.
Mark says that one argument from MJ is that he played both offense and defense. Brady's the greatest quarterback, but MJ played both ends of the court and did it in
Listen, if we're going to go by that, then Deion Sanders is the greatest, okay? Or Bo Jackson, who played 2 different sports. If we're going to play that little game. You know, I mean, nowadays, I mean, Jordan, to me, is the greatest because you're right. He did play both ends. But football is a different sport. Although Sid Luckman played defensive back. Sammy Ball played defensive back. I mean, Sid Luckman had 7-8 interceptions plus, you know, he's still our greatest quarterback. That should tell you something in the 40s. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I mean, I'm watching film noirs. They go, BB goes, boy, that's an old movie. Look at those old cars. I go, that's when the Bears' best quarterback played. Sid Luckman. He had a car like that. He had a 1944 Dodge.
You watch Turner Classic Movies.
Oh, John Garfield. It was John Garfield Day today. I love that guy.
Jojo says you are a legend. And then Robbie is back. He says, did you miss him?
Of course I miss you, Robbie. Come on, man.
All right. I want to change the subject.
Anything you want. We're here for the duration, my friend. I got to win some games.
And happy birthday again to Michael Jordan. But here's a guy who is probably celebrating his 5,000th flop. And that is LeBron James. It happened again a couple of nights ago under the basket here. You see LeBron James. He's hardly touched that on. And there he goes, flying. And the NBA has now warned him that if he does it again, the fines are going to start 5,000 for the next flop, 10,000 for the next one, and then 15,000 for the one after that. What do you think about
couch change to him? Number one, it's couch change. But I saw that. I heard the announcers for Arizona.
Yeah,
they were pissed. I don't blame them. And you know what? It's sort of like, let me put you this way. I'm hearing about the pitch framing again, right? Pitch framing for catcher is the NBA flop. Okay, it's basically we're trying to fool the ump, just like we're trying to fool the ref. Pitch framing, which is for all you Yazani Grandel fans or whatever, it's a bunch of horse shit. Okay, the pitch framing crap. Okay, give me some other things. I don't care about that. But that's the NBA flop, and Harden and these guys, they're AAU. They've been raised that way. It makes me sick to see a guy that big and a guy that great to do that. Jordan never played that game.
Yeah.
And, you know, I remember people say, well, you know, it's not his physical game now. And that's why this stuff happens. And LeBron's the bully in the schoolyard because he gets away with about 4 fouls a game, offensive fouls a game, by lowering his shoulder. Guys don't even want to get in the way because they won't even get the charge call for him. If he would have played in the 80s with Lambeer, with Rodman, with Jordan, with Pippen, with Rambis, with Bird, with Parrish, he's not putting up these numbers. He's not. If they got the old rules, he's not, and he's not playing that flop game because he's going to get clotheslined the next time he comes down. He does that.
Exactly. And that is when, you know, in fact, this morning on ESPN, the majority of Greenberg's guests were saying that LeBron is greater than Michael Jordan. How can you say that when LeBron flops, when LeBron is playing in a totally different era where, like Mike has said repeatedly on this show and in other shows, there's no defense in the NBA now? How can you say that? It's just
there is none.
Mind-boggling to me.
Last night, the Nets had an all-star total. I mean, it's 235, 240. I would say this to my friend Mike Greenberg, who also said that Clayton Kershaw was the greatest pitcher in the history of baseball and the Dodgers. He doesn't, apparently, Mike's got a member of the tribe that was better than him named Sandy Koufax, for God's sake, okay? But I would say this. If LeBron is better than Jordan, then Steph Curry must be better than both of them. Because Steph Curry came in during LeBron's prime and won 3 championships. You didn't play that with Jordan. You didn't walk, you had to wait your turn, but no half pint walked in and changed the game and won and snatched championships from Michael Jordan. Yep. Nobody. Yep. So how do I would ask Mike Greenberg in the Get Up crew this. Steph Curry changed the game, not LeBron. And Steph Curry won 3 championships during LeBron's prime. So how are we even discussing Jordan? The discussion should be, who is the most dominant player over the last 20 years of this generation? Is it Kobe, Steph Curry, or LeBron James? Jordan's in another hemisphere. Yeah. He's because if Jordan played now with the rules being on, he'd average 45 points a game. Period. So let's knock the nonsense off. But they got to do things. But see, they don't have me on that show to correct them all. Because they be sitting ducks. Yes, Mike. Yeah, Mike. Yeah, Mike. No, Mike. If Mike Jordan played today in his prime, it's over. Yep. It's over. Yep. Because then he started getting better with the 3 once the 3 became a little more prevalent, but it still wasn't. Yep. But he didn't need the 3. Right. Think about this. He didn't shoot that many 3s, and yet he led every year in points. Yeah. Amazing. Now we had on no defense. And on totals at 235. And the one thing Jordan did, he played much better than LeBron. I don't care how many times LeBron's made the list. Nobody will ever be great at both ends of the court like Jordan. Well, and Ravi says, and they should play this on Get Up and play this thing so they can get an education. Thank you. Ravi says, imagine Dennis Rodman or Bill Laimbeer guarding LeBron. Or Malone. Or Malone. Any of these guys. Yeah. That's what it would be now. Right. And you can't, and there would be no Rodman because he would have been tossed out of the league by now. Yep, absolutely. It's ridiculous. I got a question here. Let's see. It is from Elix Flix. I apologize if I mispronounce it. He says, in my opinion, the refs ruined the NBA by allowing all these soft ticky-tack fouls. The players just take advantage now and expect a foul call on almost every play. He's right. He's right. I'm watching Harden last night. They're not even touching him. And they're letting him just blow right by up the middle. That's crazy. I see this guy, Trae Young. Okay? If Trae Young plays in the 70s, he doesn't play for long. Van Leer and Sloan destroy him with the type of defense. They've made it possible now for just the little shooters like him. And I give him all the credit in the world. But Van Leer would have destroyed him. I don't think Trae Young scores 14, 15 points a game if he's guarded by Van Leer. I don't, if it's by the old rules. I don't. And also, I see him score 40 now. Yeah. Come on. It's amazing. It really is amazing. Yeah. The game has changed tremendously. All right. A lot of people talking about Zach LaVine. Is he an all-star? He's 5th in the NBA in scoring. Hart 4803 says he is. Flix asked the question. What do you think about that? I think, look, I'm so pissed. When I really stopped following all-star games in any sport, I was like 20, 21, 22. It doesn't matter to me. I hope he makes it. I don't think he plays both ends of the court all the time, but I do love his offensive game. And I think he's the second guy on a real good team. I don't think he's a first guy. In other words, he can tantalize you and win a game like he did the other night, or he can go for a layup and miss it and get criticized the night before to win the game. Remember? Yeah. So he's I think a number 2 guy. I mean, if he was on like Brooklyn with Durant and maybe Irving, maybe he's a number 3 guy. That's devastating. He's that good, but I don't think he's that guy, Aldo, with the Bulls.
Right.
I think if they could get another guy, see, for instance, if Steph Curry or Doncic or the Joker, if the Joker was on the Bulls, it would be changing Chicago basketball like Jordan did. If we had Steph, see, we don't have that guy yet. We got an all-star in Zach, but he's not that guy.
Right. I'm with you. He's not the number one star of a team, but I do think he is playing at an all-star level.
I do too.
I mean, he's definitely one of the best scorers in the NBA right now, and maybe he wouldn't score like if he was playing in the Jordan era. But
yeah, he still can play though. He's playing this, and we're giving everybody else credit under these rules. Give him credit, and I mean, the last couple of years were a waste for him. I think he's repaired a little bit of his reputation. I think the Bulls at times, Boylan, made him look bad sometimes, like it wasn't his fault. But like the Mule Skinner says, LaVine needs to learn how to play better defense with steals and more assists. He's right.
Yep.
He's got to become an all-around true player. And Harp says the same thing. Mike, you're right. He's a number 2 guy.
Right.
If they get a number 1 guy, like if they got, I think Doncic is good, but I'm over him. Okay. Mm-hmm. The other night he had 6 turnovers. He turns over the ball a little bit too much. I like Lillard. I like some of these other guys. But if he had Donovan Mitchell, look at him. He should be the MVP of the league. Forget about LeBron.
Yeah.
And if Anthony Davis does come back, forget about the Lakers winning a championship.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So basically, if we could get a guy like the Joker with LaVine, now that changes everything. We're right there. We just need one guy.
Yeah.
And that changes, but he's got to be, we're looking for that guy. And we've been looking since Jordan.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you what, as much as I love, Otto Porter Jr., I knew when we picked him up, I don't care. He's not worth that kind of money. He's not. Not. That was a bad pickup. That's why Pax is bringing Jerry coffee. Okay? My God.
Hey, today, it's this week, I believe, is the 30th anniversary of Happy Gilmore, the movie. And people will remember this classic tee-off from the character played by Adam Sandler, Happy Gilmore. He would run up and tee it off and just hit these tremendous shots. That was in the movie. Well, Adam Sandler, listen and watch this. Adam Sandler posted on Twitter this video.
Okay, it's been 25 years since I've done this. Let's see what happens. Shooter McGavin, this is for you. And I'm not lying to you, that is smashed. Smashed. And that went pretty well. You dead, Shooter.
Pretty amazing, huh?
Yeah, and then the Norm Macdonald, or not Norm Macdonald, I forget who the guy is that played Shooter. Good guy.
Yeah.
Follow him, on Twitter too. He sent one back to him. It was a great movie. Adam Sandler, Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison. I love Billy Madison because it mirrored a lot of my, quite frankly, I was starting to outgrow the desk anyway. I was starting to get like him, but those are great movies, and by the way, I don't know if that was his first shot, if he had to do it a couple times.
Right.
If it was his first shot, he hit it clean.
Yeah.
You could just tell.
Christopher McDonald is the guy's name.
That's it. I'm sorry, Chris. Yeah, great actor. I like him, and he helped make that movie. He really did.
Oh my goodness, outstanding, and that is quite an athletics feat to run up to a golf ball and to hit it down the fairway.
Yeah,
I don't think I can do that. I've played a lot of golf, and I've never tried it, but I would probably swing and miss a few hundred.
You're probably right, but I still got to verify if that was his first shot.
Yeah, we need to get out.
I love how sometimes people go, "Look what I just did," and they, like those ones where they throw the ball off the building and it lands in the hoop.
Yeah, exactly.
Then you find out later they shot it 342 times until it happened. Not to say that doesn't happen on the first time, but some of these guys, they do these wild stunts on Twitter and they're trying to sell you it was the first time.
Yeah.
No. I'm not buying it.
I hear you. All right. Before we get to your picks, I wanted to talk a little bit about, because pitchers and catchers are reporting pretty quickly. And I just took a look at over at oddsharks.com. I took a look at what the latest odds are to win the World Series. And it's the Dodgers at plus 300, the Yankees at second at plus 600, the Padres plus 750. At fourth, it's the Mets at plus 900. At fifth, it's the White Sox at plus 1,000. And at 16th, it's the Cubs at plus 4,000. Your thoughts on these odds?
You got a bunch of young guys going to be facing some pressure on the White Sox to perform. Giolito just added on by saying, and thank God, because we won't have to hear the announcing teams say, we're in the rebuild. No, you're not in the rebuild. Giolito said we should win this thing. I'm hoping. Cleveland got weaker. They gave up Lindor. They gave up Bauer. They gave up a lot of pitching. Minnesota seems to be the team in our way, but I think the way Giolito talked, he feels they're good enough to win it. So I'm looking hopeful for that. The Cubs, they picked up Arrieta. They should have never let him go.
Yeah.
It was just his aura. And people are saying, like my brother Danny says, they should have kept Lester instead of picking up Arrieta.
Yeah.
I think we were Lestered out. I think it was time. And bring back Jake, and see what happens. I don't think he was as expensive. And Lester's on a good situation. He's on a contender. But I loved having Jake Arrieta back. But yeah, the Cubs, somebody said the other day, why are these second and third market teams rebuilding all the time? You got nothing but money, So, that's another story for another day. But basically, I wish nothing but the best for both teams. I want the White Sox. Hey, they went out. I don't know if they need another starter or not. It would have been nice to see the Sox pick up Arrieta unless he's completely done.
Right.
But he did get torched when he was in the American League, even as a younger guy. I think what Theo Epstein did is he picked up American League pitchers like Hendricks, Lester, Arrieta, and that was the key. They dominated the weak hitting lineups of the National League, which are really fragile compared to the American League lineups that have the DH and everything else. God, am I on my game today? I don't think I've even stuttered except about 7 or 8 times.
Here's just like our open says, I don't tell Mike what we're going to talk about. I just bring these topics up and he riffs.
Just fire him off. I'll go. I got anything. You want to talk a little Brazilian soccer? Come on. Tennis at the Australian Open. Nadal, come on now. Bowling, this week on Fox, 11:30, bowling, the ladder special, top 5, remember the 5 guys, that's going to be on Fox, 32, I'll tell you the one I don't, I haven't fought the soccer bets yet, and I'll watch, and I'll watch like on Visson. I had the line last night about basketball. I had Notre Dame of Niles -6. They won by 7 against St. Pat's.
Yeah, Mark is asking.
I laid it out. I had odds on the game.
For our audio podcast people, Mark is asking, Mike, what about high school basketball?
Yeah.
Mike.
Last night, Aldo saw it. I came up with Notre Dame -6. We won by 5.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah, we covered. I came up with the Brazilian soccer. Then I watch my guys, Paulie and Mitch, and they have some guy, Sir Nigel something or other, and he goes, the names of Crystal Palace at Westbrook is -0.5 goal against Southampton in Hegwish, getting 1.5 goals. And I'm going, who are these people? And then they go, Wonton Bakery of Manchester, getting 1.5 goals against Pepsi Cola of Amsterdam. I'm going, I don't even know these teams. I just jot them down. I get a kick out of them,
Robbie said,
I used to.
Really?
I used to hand out parlay cards. Hell yeah. I made a fortune. A fortune, Robbie.
That's right. We're gonna talk about that in an upcoming show. Some of the early betting escapades.
And there'd be one week when like 15 parlay cards would hit, and you go, I hope I have money left. My God, those were the days.
That's right. All right, it is time for
what? Oh, God help us. I'll tell you what. I got to have a better day today than I've had the last couple. I got 2 picks for everybody. Okay. We have Quinnipiac +6.5 against Aldo's favorite team. He's on his way on a scholarship for the violin back in the day. Iona Now Iona is -6.5. They're playing Quinnipiac, getting 6.5. Take Quinnipiac plus the 6.5. And also West Carolina +8 against University of Tennessee at Chattanooga. Check them out. West Carolina +8 against UT Chattanooga. We thank Win Daily. Make sure you go to windailysports.com. Make sure you go to Win Daily Sports. Follow us at Win Daily Sports. Aldo Gandia at Bears Barrow. At North and North. Are you kidding me? Come on now. This is like entertainment for free. You used to have to stay up till 10:30 to watch the Tonight Show to get something this good and this funny. Come on. What the hell? Might as well just lie to people.
Go over those picks one more time.
All right, here we go. You ready? Righty then. How you doing? I got my new mic. Feel like Edward R. Murrow. And the Bombers are coming in. Run! Anyway. West Carolina +8 against UT Chattanooga and Quinnipiac. Mm-hmm. I think I might have I think you have to spell the name to get in. Quinnipiac +6.5. Run with it, hide with it, go opposite it, fade it, do what you got to do.
That's right. If you can spell the name of Quinnipiac,
you're in. You're in. My God.
I love it. All right. Let's see. Mule wants to know, talk some hockey betting, Mikey.
Nothing good out there today, man. I've been good with hockey, but nothing out there today. I checked out the lines this morning. There's 4 or 5 games. Nothing came out. I know I liked the game yesterday, sort of, but I've been so cold. I said, get off it. But hockey's been good to me so far this year. We'll talk hockey when it's up more. But I know the Hawks are playing tonight. They're playing. I know the Hawks are playing. Who knows when the Hawks are playing? I don't even know if Foley knows when the Hawks are playing. Eddie O. Yes, Eddie. They're playing. Oh, anyway. Detroit, Chicago's -130 tonight against Detroit. Take couch change, put it on the Hawks, see what happens.
Yeah. Pretty amazing how the Hawks are playing. I'm looking at their
playing good.
They have won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of their last 6. They beat the Red Wings 3-2. As you mentioned, they are playing tonight, 6:30 p.m. Central on NBC Sports Chicago again against
early game.
So, what do you think about these back-to-back games in the NHL?
I love it.
Do you like it from a betting purpose?
And they don't have to travel as much. They play each other. I think the 2-game series might be here to stay. Once we get the masks off in 2028. So, I'm going to see. I ran into a kid. 10 years from now, we'll run into a guy that's like 6'1". I'll go, what do you do for a living? He goes, I'm in 6th grade. We started back at school again. I'm 30. That's all.
Oh, I want to make sure that people know that they can listen to Mike Norris on ESPN 1000 every Friday night on the
3-0 last week. Hot.
Carmen DeFalco. How's that show going for you?
Hot. As good as this show. Mm-hmm. Our show's been good. The Win Daily guys. I do the Win Daily. I'm on Twitter with Win Daily on Thursdays. I'm on Sirius at 4:15 with them on Saturday nights. Good to be on Sirius. And then, so, everything's going good. I just want to win. I hate losing. I'm 15-15. I don't like going 2-6 the last 3 days. It makes me ill, but there's nothing you can do. But it's like being a major league manager. You go through good streaks, you go through bad streaks, and see what happens,
Exactly.
I just love how people keep track of mine. I lost 50 on you last night. In the meantime, they've lost 300,000 in the stock market. They don't know anything about it. Right? But I lost 50. You had Louisiana Lafayette. And then they go, honey, how's money? Well, we've lost 150,000 in that other deal. Oh, I didn't know that. Keep track of Mike. Keep track of everything, right, Aldo?
That is absolutely right. All right. I want to also let people know that the Barfly Tailgate Show returns.
Ooh, I love it.
Morning after a week off to celebrate.
Tooch has been hot with college picks, too. He's like 9-3. Tooch.
Johnny Santucci. He is working today, so that's why he didn't come on.
I thought because he's been doing real well, he just threw us on overboard.
That's right.
He's got his own show. Well, he does have his own show. He does a good job. I love Tooch.
He's outstanding.
He'll be happy he made the broadcast.
Draft on Tap is tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Danny Shim and Neil Stopchinski. How about that? I practiced that.
Danny Aguirre. All you guys do a good job.
Yeah, and so
I watch it.
We're going to talk about the latest wide receivers who are entering the draft. That's tomorrow right here on the Bears Bar Network.
When you're on and I tap into that, do you know I tapped in? Is there a way of knowing that? Or not
the only
really?
way is if you put something in the chat room, and you've done that before.
I've done it. I mean, I didn't do it one day, and I saw Joey Bombs. My guy Joey, he went like this. He went. I go, and I got off real quick. I go, do they know I'm on?
Yes, they do.
Joey went like this. Yeah, I love it. You guys are the best. Bears Bar Room's the best. We have so much fun. I got color in my face today. I can't believe it.
You just took a shower before coming on to the show.
Yeah, I took a shower. Can you imagine if you could smell some of these people through the screen?
That's next in technology.
There's people that haven't actually fucking showered in 2 weeks, probably.
That's right.
Right?
That is absolutely right.
Unbelievable. They're going, I'm all right. They lie to themselves. You lie to yourself. You ever lay in bed for a couple of days not showering? You go,
yeah,
I smell all right. No, you don't. No.
By the way, did you and B have a great Valentine's Day?
Oh, yeah. How about you and Donna?
You know what? I'm still waiting for a Valentine's Day gift to arrive. I ordered it a week ago, and they keep saying it'll be there tomorrow. It'll be there tomorrow.
Every day, tell her every day is Valentine's Day. Does she like that? You know what you should get her? Even though I know she's not a prima donna. Donna's not. She's not. No. But the song, Donna, the prima type, Donna, by Dion. And my guy, you should get her 45. You should get it framed.
Oh, that's a great idea.
I bring couples together.
All right. Remember to join us back next week.
Yes.
9:30 a.m. Central Time for the Mike North Advantage. Mike, say goodbye to your fans.
Like Granny. I love Granny. Remember?
Yep.
Hey, one take, baby. One take. So long, everybody.